What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today's video we're focusing on the Rugby Championship, and the question I have for everyone is, should the Rugby Championship go on this year? COVID-19 has obviously affected everyone. It's knocked teams out of their playing schedules, it's delayed rugby, it's cancelled rugby, it's postponed rugby, and there's a lot of questions being asked right now because of the whole situation of quarantine. When all the countries arrive in Australia, they need a quarantine for 2 weeks, which is a hell of a lot of time. And then when they get back home, they need to do the same thing. Now, questions have been asked about South Africa, whether we're technically going to be fit enough to play in the Rugby Championship, whether our government is going to allow us out is a question. Two, this SA Rugby are having issues with the Premiership teams for releasing our players in time. The goal is to have everyone arrive in time with a big squad so that if injuries occur, we have backup plans and South Africa are prepared. They're doing what they can in order to try and achieve this. The goal, Rusty Rasmussen, Coach Jacques, said that they need at least have 5 to 6 games within them. So they have to play in these provincial games in order to be some sort of type of ready for this game. Our SA tournament only officially starts on the 10th of October. This tournament starts on the 7th of November. So it's already, less than a month just of provincial time to get some sort of rugby in. Yes, we would have had the the Springboks showdown as well as our Super Fan Saturday that took place. We've already seen injuries. Sinatla, Frans Malherbe and a few others have been injured from that game, and now who knows what's going to happen on the Springbok showdown. So there's a lot of talk from South Africa. That's only South Africa. Let's not forget Argentina. There have been players who've contracted COVID-19. We all know the rules and regulations there apparently also very strict. There are players playing overseas in Europe. Will they be allowed to join Argentina in order to travel over? Questions there. Then you got the drama with Australia and New Zealand. The Bledisloe Cup, the final game. The New Zealand guys want to make it in time for Christmas, otherwise they're not going to spend Christmas with their families due to quarantine rules in New Zealand. The Prime Minister of New Zealand has also stated that they won't give favourable treatment to the All Blacks, as they would probably feel the same going the other way around, because you can't just give favourable treatment due to the fact of their stance or their celebrity focus, or just because it's the All Blacks. So there's drama there. Obviously, there's a lot of All Black rugby players with young families, so they don't want to miss out on the first Christmases, all that jazz. And deciding the dates. Apparently, Australia and New Zealand had already an agreement where New Zealand's last game would be, I think it was the 5th of December. Now they've got a fixture on the 12th of December against Australia, which is the final Bledisloe game. Even if they leave the next day, they're still not going to make it, because it's 2 weeks after that. In quarantine, you're going past Christmas. So there's a lot of drama there now as well. And that's where the question is, should the Rugby Championship take place? Are we not rushing into this tournament due to everything going on? Injuries, careers are at stake here. Things can happen. We just don't know. But for me personally, if we can figure out a way, there's probably not enough time in the day. I would say bring it forward and let these guys play earlier. Put in a week fixture, which is not ideal because we'll either be at work or we won't be able to watch the game, and you obviously want to get it. But I wonder if that can be done. Have an international game within the week, so that we can get like a Wednesday game, a Sunday game, or a Saturday game and a Tuesday game. I don't know. Those are just thoughts. Or even Friday. All these games are scheduled November the 7th, November the 14th, November 21, 28, and then December 5 and 12. So it's all bottled in one, and it's not going to be week on, week off. They're all going to play for those amount of weeks in a row. which sounds great because we're not going to have a week gone of rugby. It's going to be all rugby. So as a fan, we're licking our lips and we're excited. But we need to think of the player welfare. We need to think of every situations. I mean, whether you like it or not, we might be fans and say, just get on with it, play the game, it's your job. But you can understand the situations that these guys go through from a family point of view, especially with all the scary stuff that's gone on with COVID-19, people losing their lives, people losing careers, jobs, etc., etc. Financially, this tournament needs to happen. I know for a fact South Africa need it for the sake of the rugby. We know Australia are currently in a very bad financial situation. They need this tournament. New Zealand will need the tournament too. Although they've had Super Rugby, things are still not great. And we know Argentina will be in the exact same boat. So, should we go ahead? Should we figure out alternative plans on how they're going to do it? Or how they're going to bring a game forward? I don't want it to happen, but 2 games a week. You play in the week, you play on the weekend. We've seen it at the Premiership. It didn't go too badly. Yes, it's international rugby. It's a totally another level, which is something else we need to think about. That's other options. Or the guys just unfortunately suck it up and let the tournament go on. For me, Australia and New Zealand are obviously training and they've got the Mitre 10 Cup, etc. Why not bring that final fixture a week earlier? Or just continue it within... Okay, it's not enough time. We're already on October. It's time of recording is the 28th of September. So bring it forward. Let the games go. Go back to what they originally agreed on. Why is Rugby Australia changing things up if they had an agreement? Even Dave Rennie backs New Zealand's complaint. So things need to happen. Things need to change, because if we want a tournament to go on, we need to adapt and make sure everyone's happy. We need to discuss. But there's so many question marks as to whether or not this tournament should happen. Is it safe? Is it? Are these guys going to be mentally ready? And I mean all teams, not just South Africa. It's a massive thing when we see international rugby. And with 6 nations starting at the end of the month, we'll be able to get a feeling. With Bledisloe, we'll get a feeling of how the impact of international rugby is going to have on these guys' body. So that's why I pose a question. Should the championship go ahead? I want it to. But if it's going to be at the risk of players, if it's going to be at the risk of missing out on things, we've already had a crazy year. Why not start it early next year? Postpone it till Feb or Jan. I know it's hot and different climate changes, etc., etc. Could figure out a plan. Why do we have to rush? Maybe postpone it till Jan, Feb, March, and then start it off. And then we do it at the end of the year, because already next year is going to be a confusing year. I mean, people are talking, are we going to have a Lions tour? Are we going to have this? Are we going to have that? COVID's just peaked again in the UK. 6 nations. Is it going to even happen? So many questions, so many answers we need. Should we have it in 2020? Let me know your thoughts in this comment section down below. That's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys real soon for another one. Stay safe and never give up. Cheers.